Welcome back to Dead Panic. And we're going to get right into turn 4. So we're going to do turn 4 and turn 5 this episode. And first up is David. And let's zoom down and see what he's going to do. He has 2 actions. Alright, so David's first action, he's going to unleash a hail of bullets. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to use the AK-47. If this will focus... Come on, focus. Basically what it says is distribute up to 4 points and damage any zombies in range as you choose. And you flip the card over, becomes a club. Okay, so he gets to do 4 damage. He is going to take out the Brawler, which is adjacent here. That's 2 damage. That gets rid of the Brawler. He has 2 damage left to distribute. And he is going to... What's he going to do? He's going to take out the Sprinter for the other 2 damage. Alright, and for his second action, he is actually... I hate to use this, but he's going to go ahead and he's going to use the flare gun. It says draw 1 survivor from the bag, roll a die, or damage 2 zombies in the same space for 1 point each. So he's going to go ahead and fire the flare gun. It will become a club afterwards. Into this space with the 3 shamblers. So he will actually destroy 2 shamblers. So with his 2 actions, he has wiped out 4 zombies on the board, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, and now we're over to Julie and her 2 actions. So we're going to refocus here and see what she is going to do. Alright, so for Julie's first action, she's going to go ahead and she's going to use the crowbar. She's going to attack the creeper that's in her space. It says you may re-roll once during each melee combat. Damage 1 zombie for 1 point when melee combat is 1. So the crowbar will do 1 damage. She gets to roll 2 dice, and the creeper only has a 6. So let's see what she gets. She gets a 6, which is a tie, which means nothing much is going to... Oh no, she has to meet or exceed. So in fact, she does take out the creeper. So the creeper is destroyed. So that was the first of her 2 actions. And her second action is she is in the cabin. She's going to use her special... there's no point using her special search either. So she's just going to do regular search for herself. Actually, she has 5 items. So that's not going to do her any good. Wow. Not too great. Alright. For her second action, I'll have to think about this and come back. Alright, for Julie's second action, she's going to move 1 space in here with the Shambler, and as soon as you move into a space with a zombie, you must fight it. And this time, she's going to go ahead and she's going to use the Fire Axe, which is +1 melee to the melee roll and damage a zombie for 2 points when hit. So she needs a 7, so basically she needs to roll 6 on the dice to hit him. And she rolls a 4, which is a miss. And she has 2 options. She can either take an injury or she can drop the Fire Axe, basically discard it. I think she's going to skip taking an injury and she's just going to discard the Fire Axe, which, too bad, good weapon, but she fails. Alright, that's 2 actions for each of them. And now it is time to draw the dreaded event card. So let me zoom out a bit and we'll do that. Alright, so the event card for turn 4 is Rotten Wood. Whoa, wow, we're getting 5 zombies. Ouch. It says, all players using a weapon as a club, roll the die once for each club. 1 to 2, discard the club. 3 to 6, no effect. Well, the only one with clubs right now is David. He has 2 of them. So I'm going to roll 2 dice for him right now. He rolls a 1 and a 6. So one of his clubs is discarded. I guess it was rotten and it broke. All right. Now the unfortunate part, and the other one, of course, was okay, a 1 to 2. Oh, sorry, 1 to 2, discard the club, a 6, no effect. So he had to discard one of his 2 clubs. All right, now we have to put 5 zombies on the board. Ouch. All right, let's start drawing out of the bag. And we're going to get 5 zombies. First one, a Sprinter. And where does the Sprinter show up? In space number 1. So the Sprinter shows up over here. That's 1 zombie. 4 more. You can see with 2 players this gets pretty rough. Now we get a Shambler. Shambler shows up in 4, which is right here. That's 2. Oh, great. We get a Brute. This will be the third zombie in 5, and the brute is right down here. Not good. And zombie number 4. Oh, another brute. Wow, yeah, things are getting ugly. And that's in 1, so there's a brute over here. And the last zombie, before we move them all, is another shambler. Another shambler shows up in 4, which is right here. Ouch! Okay, that takes care of the event card. Now it's time to move zombies. And I'll see if I can not mess this up. All right, we're going to start here in zone 1. The sprinter moves 1, 2. The brute moves 1. That takes care of everyone in 1. And here we go in zone 2. The shambler is going to move ahead. The shambler won't move because in the same space as Julie. In zone 3 there are none. In zone 4 here, the sprinter is going to move 1 over and intercept David. The shambler will move, can actually see David now because it sees in this arc. It's going to shift 1 space over. These two are just going to move 1 ahead. That takes care of 4. 5, the shambler is going to move, actually, yes, he can't see. He's going to move in. The brute down here will move 1. And in 6, this shambler will move into the space with the survivor. Oh, all right, and now it is time to fight zombies. All right, the first fight is between the survivor and the shambler. The shambler has 1 hit point, and the survivor has 3. So the survivor is going to get hit for 1 damage. He's going to do 1 damage to the shambler. The shambler is removed. And I should say the tokens in this game get removed, and if there's none to draw out of the bag, all of the dead zombies go back in the bag, and we start over again. So there's a never-ending supply. All right, let me readjust the camera, and we'll get to the next battle. All right, first up, we'll do Julie. Julie has a shambler. She does have a rifle. She could shoot him, but you know what? She's going to go ahead and use the crowbar. And the crowbar says you may re-roll once during melee combat. So let's hope she has better luck this time. And she rolls 8, and that is definitely enough to knock the shambler's teeth out, and down he goes. Out of the picture. Next up, we have David in here with a sprinter. He has the tire iron, which is +1 to melee roll, and grip tape. So he has +2 to hit, which is, I don't know if that's going to focus, +2 to hit, and that would do 1 damage to the sprinter if he hits him. So let's go ahead and do that. So +2, and he needs a 7. And he gets an 8, so boom, he nails the sprinter for 1 damage. Doesn't kill it, but he takes a whack at it. And that's going to be fight zombies. And now it is past the bait token. So David was first player, and now we go back to Julie. All right, let's zoom out and begin turn 5. All right, so this time Julie is up first. 2 actions. This time she will do for her first action her special ability, which is to draw 2 cabin cards. Keep 1, give the other away. And she finds Zombie Muck. And it says zombies cannot see or fight you for 1 round, including during movement checks. If holding the bait token, pass it to the left. Play at no action cost. Well, I think she will. She will give the zombie muck to David, and she's going to keep the helmet. It says reroll after melee combat. Keep the second result. Play at no action cost. So the helmet just allows you to reroll, and the crowbar allows her to reroll. So I believe that combination now gives Julie 2 rerolls on melee combat. Once for the crowbar, and once for the helmet if the reroll on the crowbar doesn't work. All right, that's her first action. Her second action is, why doesn't she move right in here with David? And she will attack the sprinter with the crowbar. And she needs a 7, and she gets basically 2 rerolls, 1 for the crowbar, 1 for the helmet. So, and she gets 11. So wham! She nails and takes down that sprinter, no problem. All right, 2 actions for David. Let me readjust, and we'll get to him. All right, so David's feeling pretty brave. He's going to take his club with him, the 1 club he has left. He's going to move 1 here with this shambler. He's going to attack him with the club, so it's just a straight up roll, and he needs a 7. And he gets 9. Wow, I'm rolling well. That shambler has been taken out. Now, the idea with clubs is whenever you use a club, it must be discarded after the fight, win or lose, because I guess they're not very strong. But that's okay. That now gives David another inventory slot. And so for his second action, he will... What's he going to do for his second action? He will actually move back into the cabin with Julie. All right, and now, yes, I'm going to zoom out. The horrible, horrible event card coming right up for turn 5. All right, yes, turn 5 event card time. And well, this time we're only going to get 2 zombies, but I don't like closing in. That does not sound good. It says all zombies in the woods move 1 additional space during the move zombies phase. Well, okay, that's not so terrible. So we're going to get 2 zombies. We're going to draw them out of the bag. Let's hope it's a survivor. Oh, a brute. Ouch. And we roll a 4 for the brute, so the brute shows up here. And our next, randomly out of the bag, is a brawler. Wow, the toughies are coming out now. Another 4. Wow, this section of the woods is a crawling. Now, the only... okay, so the special text on closing in is any zombie in the woods gets to move basically 1 extra space. So again, I'm going to try not to mess up. In zone 1, we have the sprinter hits the wall, puts a crack on the wall. If that will go on there. So that wall has now been damaged. And the brute moves up 1 space next to the wall. In zone 2, we have 1 shambler. He can see everything. Now they shift lanes to come after our heroes. And now, of course, he doesn't move again. But there's nobody in 3. And now in 4, we have, well, the 2 shamblers are going to move. Are they going to move ahead or are they going to shift lanes? I think because they can see everything in this arc and this arc and there's no walls left. Let me just check that for a second and come right back. So yes, in fact, so they can see everything in this section, and this section. And because there's no walls, they can see into the cabin. So they're going to shift lanes over here for 1 movement to try and get towards our heroes. Now these guys get to move an extra space, so they're going to move their normal 1 and +1. And sorry, they're going to shift 2, so they're going to shift 1, and then they're going to move this +1 up here. So zone 3 is jammed. In zone 4, this shambler is going to go for the survivor because he's closest, moves into here, and the brute moves up 1. And I do believe I have not missed any movements. At least I hope I haven't. If I have, sorry about that. All right, we're going to zoom down into the battle here because that was move zombies and now it's fight. All right, so the only battle taking place is here. So again, the survivor has 2 hit points. He's going to get knocked down to 1, and the shambler is going to get knocked out because it only has 1 hit point. And that is going to conclude the fight zombies. Next is pass the bait token. We're going to take this. This goes over to David. David's going to be first player for turn 6, which is going to be the start of the next episode. Now let me zoom out and we'll just recap what we have on the board here, and that will be it. Arg. Yes, movement errors, lots of errors. Been doing things slightly incorrectly, which is not unusual for me. Yeah, how to fix all of the movement here. First thing up, these 2 shamblers were down here in the yard. I believe it was on, I think it was turn 5. And I said they can see in here. Well, they can't because there are interior walls in the cabin that they cannot see through. So on their movement, instead of shifting spaces and moving, they should have just moved ahead 1 space. So they would move into the yard area. And they can still only see this space because there's walls here. So they cannot see these guys. All right. The other movement that I messed up was the brute and the brawler were over here, and I had them shift and move up for their 2 movement. That is incorrect as well, because they cannot see in here. They would just move 2 spaces up. So this area would be covered in zombies. I also screwed up some movement. I think there was a shambler here. I think it was turn 4, and I had him shift. Should have moved right into the building. Kind of half-dozen thing, because David would have moved in and taken him out anyway. So this, I hope, should now have corrected the movement. I also had a shambler shift and move into this space. It should have moved into the building first. Anyway, got it all worked out now. So if a zombie is in an arc, it cannot see through the interior cabin walls, which I have been doing incorrectly. If a zombie gets inside the cabin, then it can hear everything inside the cabin, as well as see the arcs outside, looking out of the windows of the cabin. I know, finicky, fiddly rules that I keep screwing up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for turn 6 and 7, where I will invariably make some more mistakes, but I will hopefully try to correct them. All right, thanks for watching. Join me next time for Dead Panic, turn 6 and 7.